Alright, here we are in picks and bans. On the left side, we have the blue team. It's just going to be blue team. This is a league match. And then on the right side, we have my friends, Epicydkidian and Kasuta, playing with 3 other people. And there's the first ban. It's Shablanc, which is a very strong pick. A ban in this kind of early phase because he's easily the strongest ADC in the game right now. Dealing a lot of damage. Easily the hardest hitting god late game. On the right side, you see a very typical Serket pick. Nothing unusual there. She's been banned out because she's a very strong jungler, a very strong early game, but a really strong late game with her ultimate and her CC and her passive doing so much damage. So now over on left, we are looking for the second ban. We're here waiting. They're getting the timer ticking down, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a Cupid ban come out. Another is probably number 2 hunter in the game right now. Definitely really strong, really good ban. Ironically, Cupid being the counter, maybe not a counter, but a counter to Shablanc. And then on the right side, another typical ban, Ao Kuang, him being a very hard-hitting character. His 2 allowing him to do a lot of damage. So now we'll be looking over at Beetleman for the first pick of the game. And now I'm kind of expecting to see Athena here. She's a really strong support, and she brings so much to the table. That global ultimate, the taunt lasts for so long, and it is so good at helping people get out of the way. And so we're going to be seeing what he's picking up here. Artemis. Alright, so he's going for the Artemis first pick. I don't know if I agree with that personally. The Athena pick was open, she's open, and there's other hunters that I think should be valued above Artemis. She's definitely out of what's left after Shablanc and Cupid. She's not a bad pick, but I do feel like if your ADC's good with positioning, Hu Yi would be very strong here, but also Amuz and Cobb, various things like that, like just other strong hunters, but she's a pretty solid pick. On the right side, you're seeing a Poseidon hovered over, not locked in yet. Poseidon being really strong, especially after the change to Aegis. Aegis being now no longer being able to activate while you are CC'd. Alright, so we got Bakasura and Poseidon. I'm thinking it's going to be a solo lane Bakasura being very popular in the solo lane lately. And it's a strong early pick. He's very popular, and people do tend to pick him, but he's more of a counter pick you would see towards warriors. And Poseidon, of course, being strong for the same reason I just said earlier. Nuwa and Bastet being hovered over. Bastet, easily one of the strongest junglers. Level 5 has one of the strongest ultimate abilities in the game. Cat's doing so much damage to anybody they get on, especially if it's on a mid player or anybody who doesn't have a dash and they can't get away. It slows you, and they will just devour you. Nuwa also being a very strong character, locked in there. Nuwa, her ultimate obviously hitting everybody. A Loki being hovered over and locked in. I'm gonna assume it's a Loki jungle and a Bakasura solo, because a Loki solo is very popular, but Baka jungle has been falling out of the meta very fast. Now we're looking over, we're going to be seeing a ban from red team here, going for the third ban here, and they go for Geb, so they're taking a support off of the table, probably hoping to make sure that the pickings aren't easy for the blue team over here. And now we're looking over at blue side, they're going for their third ban. I'm honestly surprised, we're at this point, we haven't seen Athena show up anywhere, not in bans and not in picks. She is easily one of the best character in the game for support, and she's not even considered on either team so far. And there she is, shows up in the bans. I'd really have liked to see that pick. So now over here, we're gonna be looking for, I'm guessing, an ADC and a support. I know Epicydkidian, I know he's a support player, so they're probably looking at their support right now. And so I'm guessing we're going to see an Ares, because he's very strong, or maybe a Sylvanas here. Sylvanas has, when they announced the change to his 2, which was no longer affecting minions, people were saying, he's gone. We're seeing a Ares hover here. But Sylvanas' 2 not affecting minions, people said, he's gone. But Incontinentia was like, nah, I don't think so. And he picked him up and showed that, hey, he's still really useful because he heals in lane. That's good pushing potential. Over on right, you see Ymir locked in instead of Ares. So Ymir is still in the top few supports. Definitely not one of the highest tiers. I'd say he's behind Sylvanas and Ares for sure. Definitely behind Athena. But still not a bad pick. Probably down there, maybe around a little higher than your Sobek kind of pick. We see Osiris and Sobek being hovered over in the blue side here. And it's going to be a solo Osiris and a support Sobek. And Osiris locked in, and here comes Sobek lock. And so now we're going to be looking for the right side. Neath picked and locked in. So there we go. We have it. We have our blue teams and our red teams. We are ready to get into the game here. So now, as you can just see, just a quick glance at it, you can obviously see we have a pretty strong Neath here. And the other people on the team, not as strong, only ranks 2 and 3, but still not that bad. So here we go. Coming out of the top side is your red team. We have Epicai Kidian, Mojo69, Xeno Rhaegar, Hunter of Hunters, and Kasuta on Neath. And down in the blue side, we have Chronos Fizz on Osiris in the solo lane, Zelfair on Nuwa in mid lane, Beetleman with Strike Unit in the duo lane as Artemis and Sobek, and Demise React in the jungle role for the blue team. And so right now, just build-wise, you're seeing some pretty standard things come out. I'm actually going to make the spectator so all of the roles are lined up. So now you've got your mids, your jungles, your solos, your tanks, and your mids. I think I said mid. Whoops. Anyway. So you're seeing standard build, Bluestone Pendant into Spike Gauntlet, a very standard Hunter build. Each one picking up a health pot as usual. A Boombas with Hog 2 on both junglers, as well as a health pot and a ward coming from the Loki, which is much stronger, and I agree with it a lot more than I agree with the... mana pot on the blue side Bastet. Bastet, easily, we could see an invade here, because this ward will give them information that the blue team just won't have. That they know, hey, they're starting at speed, or hey, they're starting at backs, or hey, this is their build. A very, I want to say, almost unusual build from the Osiris. Not unusual in the sense that it's not common to see it, but he knows he's going to be against Baka, so we're not sure exactly why he built straight into Death's Toll. I think he could have had some stronger builds here, mainly getting some physical protection, but that's whatever. Watcher's Gifts on both supports. I've been seeing a lot of this, and it's still debatable whether or not Death's Toll or Watcher's Gift is more valuable, as well as seeing boots on both supports, no wards, and one ward from Epicai Kidian and one ward on the Sobek, as well as a health pot on the Sobek, but no pots on to Epicai Kidian on Ymir. And this is actually kind of unusual because, as you might know, you need those, like, that early sustain is really going to change how your lane is played. You can get really aggressive, or you might have to play passively because you don't have any healing. So now we see everybody getting to their lane. We see some poke coming out from Bastet onto the Loki, but not enough to quite do, or onto the Bakasura, but not quite enough to actually do anything significant. They're trying to clear the minion wave without having it go into the tower so they can get the gold that they need from it. Loki, of course, having a very good clear mechanic with his decoy, allowing all of the minions to wrap up. Over in left lane, we see Epicai Kidian getting really low here. But will we see them aggress? He's going into the minions. I don't like this that much. Hasuta taking a lot of autos right to her face now. Ooh, that was a very good freeze, but he goes down anyway! Kasuta really low, unable to contest anything here. If she moves up, she's surely dead. We see Loki over in the right lane, almost getting that Bastet, but Bastet hits her tier 2. But Loki, seeing his opportunity, goes for the back camps. If Bastet comes up here, she might die to the Loki. She healed up. She got the camp, so she healed up using Bumba's passive. Loki turned around to initiate, but she jumps away. She jumps back in. Nuwa's rotating to come get him, but it looks like his speed buff's going to help him get out of there. Bakasura rotating over. We see Poseidon getting Bastet in the back. Bakasura trying to aggress on this Nuwa. They back away. Bastet's out of position. Are they going to be able to capitalize on this? Not quite. She gets under the tower. Too early to dive in. Over in left lane, we look. We see Kasuda has backed to make sure. And Psychidian gets plucked. He freezes both, but he's tanking the minions and the damage from the gods. He's easily going to die. He could have died there. Not a very strong play. Loki hovering around, looking like he might gank, but he's going for his back camps. Good farming technique. Going over into right lane. Obviously, standard solo lane things going on. Both getting really close to level 5 now. At this point in the game, with Osiris level 5, his ultimate, while it does reduce healing, won't do that much to Bakasura. Again, we see left lane getting aggressed on, but them getting out of it with a nice freeze coming out from Gideon. Sobek is no longer there. He is waiting for the mid camps, and so we see blue team grouping up. Bastet gets left without any contest. In mid, we see, oh, Sobek's getting low here. Can they find it? Ah, Bakasura jumps over the wall to get the kill. Here we go, they're regressing, they're pushing them back under the tower. They don't realize that left harpies aren't there, but Bakasura is going for right harpies. Bastet following Loki. She knows that they're not there because she just cleared him, and she also has her ult. There are cats. Cats are down on Loki, but then there comes the Kraken, taking out Bastet and clearing away the cats, saving Loki. Now over in left lane, you see that Neith did die to the Artemis, putting this Artemis up 2-0 on the duo lane. 1 kill onto their support, 1 kill onto the Neith. This putting this Artemis up at 6. While Neith is still at level 4, Neith is going to have to do some farming from behind here, or else she will not be able to contest, because Artemis just has a stronger game than her. Over in mid lane, you see Sobek, after his death, coming in to kind of hold the minions off of the tower, but not take that much gold from the Nuwa. You see Loki grouping up over here. He's looking for a gank on to left. Ooh, he's going to catch out this Artemis backing. Will this be a kill? The Ymir's there. He has a freeze. She's stunned. Can they find it? Or is she going to get the kill? She gets the kill onto Gideon. This is impressive. Oh, and she's juking. And there she goes. She goes down to the Neith using her Spirit Arrow. A 1-1 Neith now. Still and about two tiers of items behind the Artemis, though. Obviously, Artemis already stacking her Devourer's Gauntlets. Neith hasn't even finished them yet. Now you see Poseidon getting his red, Bakasura picking up his blue, and Osiris pushing his lane. Bakasura heads back into lane, and it looks like Osiris is going to fall back. You see Sobek over here just going for the purple buff to drop it with the Artemis. And so let's talk about this Neith pick. Neith, she's not the worst hunter in the game right now, but she is definitely not anywhere near the top. She's kind of been the niche pick for newer players to help them get into the ADC role. Like, they're really good to progress that role. However, in high levels of competitive play, over on left side, right side, we see Osiris dropping to the Bakasura, and Bakasura barely healing up enough to get out of there. Over in left side, we see Sobek aggressing, but he misses his pluck. Alright, they're pushing him back. There's a good freeze, gets both of them, but he's low health. He shouldn't be trying to fight. They're both at least 2 levels ahead. This is a hard game to fight from behind. Over in mid lane, we see Bastet looking for a gank, possibly. She knows that we know she has the timer on these left harpies, and so I see her going for them. That's right, they're flashing now, so they're going to be up, and she's got them on lock. No contest from the other team because she knew them exactly. Poseidon's coming over, though. Bastet didn't clear, though. He got the Whirlpool. Can he find the Kraken? No, he backs off, running right into Artemis and Sobek. Rotating over, Loki's right behind him, but they got the pluck. There's a Loki ult onto the Artemis, effectively stunning her out for a few seconds. Bastet cats down, frozen in place by the Ymir. Neathel coming through. Loki getting killed by the cats, and he goes down. A new wall used there. This Poseidon was lazy backing. He got caught out. He deserved that death. Now you see Ymir getting aggressed on. A nice wall to block them out, and they will effectively back off. Neath the entire time split pushing, just pushing the wave up. She would have been more useful in the fight there, but we see a Gold Fury being aggressed on. Will the red team even notice this? Over on right side, there's a kill! Oh, man. Blue team destroying the Gold Fury without a single contest. And if we just look here, net worth right now, Artemis carrying the team. She has the most gold. She is farming very efficiently, very effectively. And total damage, she's also at the highest. And let's just go ahead and look at the... What the fuck? How do you open the charts? Looking at the graphs, that Gold Fury, you can see it right there. An effective jump straight up into 2,700 gold lead, a 3,000 experience in favor of the blue team here. So now we're going to be looking over at the item build again. Still seeing very standard builds coming out from all of them. Loki looks like he's going to be building into Heartseeker here. Bakasura actually having a peculiar build going into Devourer's Gauntlets, but lifesteal and sustain. Over, we see Nuwa coming up onto the right lane. Looking for the Bakasura, not able to find it. We may see Bastet fall here as Poseidon meets up. Poseidon immediately leaving, not even wanting to contest her. Loki ultimate onto Bastet immediately as he sees her. Poseidon whirlpool, but it doesn't cripple her in time. She is out of there. She got her jump off. She's good. But Ymir in the background. This is very poor positioning. He just got flung straight into three of them, and he got melted. He's still alive. No, Nual's gonna get him. It was a nice wall, but that was very poor positioning. In mid, Artemis rotates over, ults, and gets a kill on the Poseidon. And in right lane, Osiris takes down the Bakasura. Now you're seeing a 9-4 kill lead in favor of blue team, and they're just straight aggressing on this Loki. No care at all. He is down. Bastet gets killed by the Neath ult, but they lose a tier 1. Now they're behind not only a tier 1, but they're also behind the Gold Fury. Now you see the timers coming up, Bright Harpies are up, and you see Sobek pluck the Ymir out, but no follow-up from his team because they are all backing with the newfound gold in their pockets. Another thing I'd like to point out is that the Sobek got Traveler Shoes while Ymir got the Reinforced Greaves. I personally don't agree with either of those items. I would prefer to see cooldown boots maybe, or just straight into a Sovereignty here. You see Osiris building into a Executioner, a very strong build on Osiris, with his AoE attacks on his 3rd and 4th progression. Banecross Talon straight into it for the Nuwa down in the bottom left. You see without boots, so she's going to be very slow early on, but with the way the red team's playing, she does not have to worry about escaping any ganks. And of course you see the Artemis standard build, just Bluestone into Devos into Warrior Tabby, a very common 46 stacks compared to Neat's 11. Now Warrior Tabby is a good build for Artemis, and it's good on Artemis for a reason that it's not good on Neat. Artemis has her second ability, which is called Vengeful Assault. It allows her to have attack speed. Sobek gets a pluck onto the Poseidon. Artemis gets the slowdown. Loki's there to go, and he stuns out Artemis with his ult. Kraken coming down, but not enough to kill her. She might be able to kill out the Poseidon, but she's backing off. Bastet comes in to clean up, and Artemis gets the kill onto the Loki. Now you see a Neath ult coming out to stun them out to try and save the Ymir. The Ymir looking to maybe fight, but it's not a good idea. Over in right lane, you see Bakasura going down to Osiris again. Back over and left, you see these Ymir still trying to be aggressive against a team that's just so much farther ahead of him that he cannot fight here. Looking down at the builds again, you will notice that with, like I was saying, Artemis, with her 2, has a attack speed boost. Bastet's looking in the jungle for this Ymir. She might find him. She throws, but that's a very good wall. But is the dot going to kill him? He gets away with 178 HP. Now Loki looking for the Osiris. Osiris 5 levels ahead of Loki. And blue team on the left side, grouping up for yet another uncontested Gold Fury. Right camps went down. I didn't see who they went to. However, Loki's getting really low, getting boxed out by Osiris, and he goes down. Bastet in mid lane. She sees, might see Poseidon. No, she's just zoning, and this is going to be another free Gold Fury in terms of blue. Blue, after this Gold Fury, is going to be up about 6.5, 6.7k, and they have an astounding experience lead as well. There it is, 6.8k right there, 9,000 experience, and they're just snowballing even higher. Bastet pushing back 2 people in the mid lane. Just her presence is keeping them under tower. Artemis just farming up. Neath still farming, but still 2 levels behind of Artemis because of these Gold Furies. Bastet once again letting the left Harpies for free. Ymir noticing the Bastet, Bakasur, and Poseidon in position to fight, but they just drop a ward and continue to back off. They are not being able, they're not grouping in the right orders here to be able to get anything done. Bakasura looks like he's going for a gank onto the Artemis, but Artemis recognizes it because he walked right through a ward, and he's just getting on out. Blue pinging the speed buff. I'm assuming they want to kind of get a steal. Ooh, we might see some aggression here. There's a Bakasura waiting in the waters for this Artemis. She starts aggressing on Neath. She hits 1, but misses an auto. Backflip out. Stun. Bastet coming in from the background. Cats get used. Neath will probably go down in this fight, but Bakasura comes and kills the Bastet, effectively getting rid of the cats. Artemis Boar goes down. It stuns both, but Neath manages to get the auto off on the Artemis, living with just 400 HP. And over in the left lane, on the right lane, we see 3 grouping up against 3, but the tower's down. They have to go back to their tier 2. They don't know what to do here. Blue team using this advantage that they have against the red team, effectively pushing them back, zoning them out, going for the blue buff steal. I love seeing this. Red doesn't even recognize it in time, and they get the blue buff for free. And now they're looking, there's 4 members of red team over here while Neath is back into the base. We see Osiris kind of wanting to fight, but not fighting while his teammates are backing off. They're backing efficiently. They'd rather get out of there safely. Now you see splitting the speed buff, I think 3 ways is effective for Bakasura because he gets the full camp. However, I don't know if I agree splitting that much experience between the support and the mid because they both really need it at this point. Poseidon being down, Poseidon being on the same level, but the support being down 2 levels, he really needs this experience, as well as Bakasura needs 2 more levels to catch up. Loki, 4 levels behind this Bastet, and getting caught out. He catches the Osiris in the Poseidon ult, and the Kraken gets used, the Whirlpool gets used. Osiris ulted, but it didn't hit anybody. Ymir ult just completely wasted there, thrown and didn't hit anybody. Bastet's in the background. Neath ult coming in to hit the Osiris. Bakasura ults but doesn't hit anybody. He catches up to the Bastet, but she backs off. Osiris getting out clean, but Bastet's now out of position. Bastet getting picked on, but she's fighting this Loki Bakasura 1-for-1. She kills him, and then Ymir picks up the kill. Sobek ulti, the Nuwa stun onto 2 of them. Now Nuwa's ulti is coming down, and it hits, but it doesn't do quite enough damage to get a kill. However, this Ymir now perfectly out of position, prime picking for the Nuwa and the Sobek, thrown right back into minions. Can he get out of here? Does he have a wall? His wall's on cooldown for another 3 seconds. He might be able to get out if the Sobek's pluck is not up. We see them aggressing Poseidon there. There's the wall, and this should be a disengage from the blue team unless they're going to go ahead and dive, but it looks like they might be giving up. Over on left lane, you see this Artemis aggressing on the Neath, pushing her effectively under her own tower. And the blue team is backing off, but they once again are coming out of this way farther ahead than the red team. And Sobek in the background proxying the wave to give more push. Osiris sitting over here. 3 members of blue team compared to the 1 member of red team. If they go on this Neith, she is gone. Neith fighting because she thinks she's the only one there because there's no red team ward here. Easily, that's 2 ultimates. Neith goes down, no problem to the 3 members of blue team. Now you see the Bakasura and the Ymir showing up, getting a nice freeze on 2 of them. Bakasura got plucked. The Ymir ult coming, getting some damage down, but not quite as much as he'd probably like. Poseidon rotating over, coming into the backline here, getting the Artemis easily in his Kraken and his Whirlpool. You see Sobek falling low here. He's getting low. Can they find it? Osiris coming in, and they switch focus to Osiris. And this Sobek's going to get away clean, and it looks like Osiris might too. He's running off. He's over here. They've got him down really low, but they're spending so much just trying to get him, and he bought a lot of time there. Loki getting killed by the Bastet way over here, deep past the tier 2. Red team finally getting left Harpies for the first time this game. Now, I want to go ahead, look at this mini-map, and I see 2 wards from red team, whereas I see 1, 2, 3, 4 wards at least from blue team. Now you see Bastet getting aggressed on. She gets found using 3 members of red team, so that's a good experience split because Bastet is ahead quite a bit, and that's going to get experience to help some of them level up. The support's now on the same level. Poseidon actually ahead of Nuwa. Bakasura now only 1 level behind, but Loki's still 4 levels behind this Bastet. Now, red team, for the first time in the game, actually is aggressing on the Gold Fury. Nuwa spots it out, but can she do anything about it? Sobek a bit too far away, but if he rotates fast enough, he might be able to get there for the steal. He's coming into the back lane, but it looks like that's going to go down to red team before he can even get there. Now, red team finally getting its first Gold Fury. Looks like they might be rallying up for the first time. You see, as they're aggressing, they're chasing down this Ymir. They're doing a red buff, and now Loki's turning around. Bakasura is ready to fight. Loki over here doing something I actually very much appreciate. Split pushing. His team is behind. They really need the gold, and he notices none of the people are over here. None of blue team is over here. We can get this tower. I love this. I love seeing Bastet obviously rotating over to stop him from getting a tier 2, but he's getting the tier 1 for free. However, over in left lane, you see 4 members of blue team aggressing on this tier 1. It's going to go down because Artemis is zoning this Neith so well. No defense here. That's bye-bye tower. Neith getting a nice root there, Loki getting right camps, but over here on left we see 4 members versus 4 members of each team, not knowing who to chase after. However, it's hurting the red team. I'm assuming they don't have that much of a shot caller, because if they had decided to aggress on anyone there, they probably could have gotten a kill. Now, 4 members splitting this purple buff on blue team, obviously showing that they don't need too much farm. However, they are losing a bit of their lead. They were at 8,000, now they're at 3,000, and the gold lead has significantly decreased from about 7,000 down to 2,500. So you see this, they're aggressing. There's the Artemis is out of position. Bakasura and the Loki are going to be used. She ages, but it looks like they might be able to find her. She gets out. The Kraken finds her. Now you see Nuwa in the air. Loki falls to the Bastet. Now you see the Poseidon going down. Got killed out by the Osiris. Then you see Bakasura getting low. But can he find it? We go back into the backline. We see the Ymir getting low to the Osiris, and he's going to find it there. Bakasura coming back into the fight, and it effectively kills him. Now you see Neith in the lane. She has to get away here. There are 3 members of blue team right behind her. Right now, this is a 2-for-4 trade in favor of blue team, and there's no coming back from this right now. Neith gets plucked, and Osiris is there to get her. And it looks like they're going to get a lot of damage down, but will they be able to kill her? The stun comes out from the Osiris, but Sobek has to back out. Now you've got Osiris. Obviously, he's took a bit too many tower shots there to continue diving, and he backs off. Now you see Loki and Ymir back in the game with the lowest 2 levels in the game right now on red team, and including the other team's support. Loki's on par with him. So Loki effectively, his jungling, that Heartseeker, completely useless. Having a Heartseeker and being 0-6, it is not good for you. In fact, if they had, I want to just say, if they had a different jungler, they might be winning this. But in 06, he has given 6 of 21 kills. Like the other teams, the other members do have a lot of deaths on them, but 6 deaths onto one character without any kills to show for it is a very large deficit that he's not going to make up. And it looks like it's going to become 7 here because 3 members of blue team are rotating over just to kill this Loki. Nuwa's going to catch out his rotation. He's going to vanish, but Bastet's waiting for him. But she gets pushed out by the Poseidon Whirlpool and the Bakasura. They're pushing into mid tower here, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to go for it. It looks like they might back off because they're going to be losing their wave. Ymir and Sobek having a ward battle over on Fire Giant. All 5 members of blue team are grouped over on right side for Fire Giant, expecting this next team fight. If Ymir falls, then the Fire Giant will be taken by blue team, no doubt. The grouping up, there's 4 members of red team and 5 members of blue team. Gold Fury's probably around 30 seconds or so. 45 seconds from now. Now, we've got all 5 members of blue team roaming as a group. While Loki's over here split pushing, much more effective farming because he is very far behind this Bastet. This is going to help him not only get his Heartseeker stacks up, but he's also going to be getting some experience and some nice solo farm that he's needed. Now, Artemis getting called out, they notice the rotation, they tell him to get out. Bastet, again, taking a mid-camp without anybody there to contest it. Neith farming a little on the wave. She tagged it, so she will get experience from these minions when they die, but it looks like she's sitting back because she just doesn't have the support from her team that she needs to be able to clear this wave. Once again, a grouping of 4 members of blue team in mid while the Artemis is on left, 4 members of red team in the mid vicinity while Bakasura is over here split pushing, getting nice solo farm to help catch up. Now the thing here I see on this Bakasura, it's more of a hunter build with some items missing. He got Devourer's Gauntlets, and he's got Ikaval, which I do like. However, there's more items I'd rather see on Bakasura than there are right now. Though, some other items... Fatalis is wonderful on Bakasura because he really needs to stick to his targets. If he can get them and stick to them, he's really good. However, Ikaval, giving some early game penetration, that's going to be really good, except he didn't get it that early. This is 23 minutes in, but he does have a rage, which I don't personally agree with. It's more like a Kali, in my opinion, where you don't need the crit. It won't help you that much. You just need attack speed because your true damage will eat through, and you need some physical power. Now we see them aggressing onto Gold Fury. Bakasura able to solo it because of this Devourer's Gauntlet. Just using it. If he activates Butcher Blades, which I'm sure he started with, he would be able to do more damage, but the blue team just zoning them out. They can't do it here. And so now we've effectively been seeing what's kind of like a chess move here. The blue team and the red team have been seeing each other, moving around, trying to form, but no fights have broken out yet. Red team playing very effectively, only 3k behind for their 8 kill deficit. 7 kills, sorry. No, it's 8 kill. It's an 8 kill deficit. So an 8 kill deficit, but it's only 3k considering they've lost a Gold Fury. That's 15k. That's about where they need to be standing. They're also down they're down 2 towers onto the blue team here. Now we see Artemis and Nuwa aggressing on the Gold Fury, but again getting pushed out because the grouping's still over here. Loki was over there trying to push, but Osiris came to block him out. Loki having to use his Vanish there to get away from the Osiris and the Bastet, who were grouped up and spotted him as he was rotating out. However, now you are seeing the ward coverage I would like to see. There are at least 3 wards from red team and 2 wards from blue team on the map. Not exactly the amount of ward coverage I would agree with. I'd like to see wards all over the place. However, any ward is better than no ward. Artemis once again starting the Gold Fury. Bakasura spots it out. However, Osiris and Bastet and the rest of blue team is starting to rotate over. However, here comes Ymir, here comes the Neith, and here comes Poseidon. They push them off of the Gold Fury for the 4th time, I think, in the past 2 minutes. And Artemis starts it again immediately. Now, both teams are sitting here. This is where we're going to see our next fight. Except Loki way over here doing his speed buff. Now, while I do agree, I like the Loki split pushing, considering all of this experience. There's so much experience being dropped here. As you see, top left purple buff, red buff on the not chaos side, the speed buff, both back camps, the blue buff, both, and the right mid camps are all up, and nobody's doing anything about it. However, Nuwa, nope, none of the members of blue team are backing. Loki might get this tower for free. This will be the first tier 2 of the game if he gets it. Blue team will have to take a Gold Fury and get some kills here if they want to make up for it, but they're just not aggressing. Artemis uses her ult, Neath backflips away, Tusky going to grab her, Osiris using his freeze, or his stun, and getting the Bakasura, Bastet in the back getting the Neath. Now we see the Sobek using his ultimate, getting the Poseidon. He's really low, but he looks like he's going to get out because of his massive attack speed. Ymir falling so easily to 4 members of blue team. Them diving tier 2, getting the kill on Poseidon. Loki down here pushing a Phoenix, but it looks like blue team's going to go for Fire Giant. Now they're pinging out. They notice Loki's down there at the Phoenix. But will Loki keep pushing? Loki's going to back off. Not going to get that damage. They're going to Fire Giant. I do not like seeing people get hit by this line ability. It is very easy to dodge. He has a very predictable pattern. But it looks like this is a free Fire Giant for blue team. No Hog 3 on the Loki. Having 2 Fist of the Gods on red team versus having 2 Hog 3s and a Fist of the Gods on blue team. The Fist of the Gods on Osiris, very good. He can help confirm his damage, but not having a second Fist of the Gods over here on the red team has really effectively got them out of being able to secure some of these things. These objectives that they really need to get. Fire Giant's down. The buff will be on all 5 members of blue team. Red team now. Neath, 1 level behind. Loki, 2 levels behind. Bakasura, 2 levels behind. Ymir, 2 levels behind. And Poseidon just on par when he had a 4-level lead earlier. And it looks like red team's going to aggress onto the Gold Fury, but I don't think blue team really needs to care about this. They're still ahead in gold. The Gold Fury just now brought it to be more even, but they have Fire Giant. All they have to do is group up and do some of the team fights that we have been seeing this entire game, and it will be GG for red team. Now we see some farming coming out from red team, trying to catch up on this level gap. However, Osiris and Nuwa pushing right lane. They have to get over. Artemis taking the blue buff, not quite getting spotted out by the Bakasura and the Ymir, so she backs off. However, now Bakasura and Ymir are going to get aggressed on by 3 members of blue team, and Bakasura just gets blown up by the Nuwa. Here you see the Neath ult getting the Artemis, however, not quite being of any use to the team. 4 members of blue team, 3 members of blue team over here, sorry, aggressing, kill the Poseidon in no time. Nuwa just eviscerating people, and the Osiris ult helping that. They take right tower and right Phoenix like it's nothing, with 3 kills coming out. Loki putting himself into a bad position, getting the kill on Artemis, but dying for it. Not sure if that trade was worth it, but he's now, still 2 levels behind. The Bastet and the Sobek were aggressing on mid, and now the Chaos Titan's getting aggressed on by minions from the right lane. It looks like blue team's grouping up. They're going to take this mid tower unless somebody can defend it here. Sobek's going to take it. Nuwa spawns their minions, and this tower is effectively gone. Neath getting plucked out. If she cannot get away from them, she is dead here. She dies to the Bastet, throwing her 3. Nice Razor Whip. Declaw, right into him. Bastet ulti coming down onto the Bakasura. He once again gets eliminated by the Nuwa. The Ymir here gets completely eliminated by all the members of blue team. With Fire Giant, they take out the middle Phoenix. Poseidon the only one up right now for another 2 seconds. Loki just now spawning, and it looks like blue team's calling for left Phoenix, but there's still a left tower up.
Your Titan is under attack.
They're calling, they're going in. The red team Titan's going to be tanking minions unless they defend mid lane, and they have to give up this tier 2. It looks like they're still going to have the Fire Giant buff here for a few more seconds. Are they going to be able to aggress onto the Phoenix? They back off now, noticing that they're going to be respawning. Most of red team respawning at their base now. They move back to effectively farm and grab buffs. Bastet taking the mid camps on right, left mid camps coming up. Blue team's Phoenix that Loki took earlier in the game is now back, so that means the fire minions on right lane are no longer going to be able to handle the fire minions now coming from the blue side. You see Loki pushing up, but he's very out of position. We see a grouping from the Nuwa, the Osiris, and the Bastet. He vanishes, hoping to get away. They do fall for it, though. He backed off at the perfect time. Bastet looking for him, but not able to find him. Fire Giant spawning in 40 seconds. This might be another contestant. Sobek taking, farming up. Still level 15, but still higher than the red team support at level 14. Now Fire Giant 30 seconds away. We see blue team grouping up for it. The only member not there right now is Sobek, but he doesn't have to be there because he's not the only one with a Hog 3. And Loki comes in to steal one of the Harpies, but at this point in the game, it doesn't matter that much. Poseidon panic Aegises and loses that. That is now on cooldown for 2 minutes. He does not have an Aegis. That was such a waste. And now he's going to die for it. If he still had that Aegis, he could have used it now, but it is gone. Bakasura coming down, deciding to use the Whirlpool, throwing the Kraken down. Bastet falls to the Ymir. However, Loki coming back with an ulti, but losing the Bakasura there in the back. Loki going to be going down to the Nuwa ult there. Poseidon very low in the back. The Artemis taking a lot of unnecessary damage from the... And Neath, that ultimate just killed her. Using Nuwa's stun, she just eviscerated him. And now Ymir falls. This is a clean sweep for blue team. They can just walk right down. They have minions pushing into the Titan already. All they have to do is push it. But they're gonna make one of them makes the ping out for the right Phoenix, which is a very good call because it's about to spawn back. However, they recognize that there's only one member of blue team up for another 15 seconds. They can just kill. Poseidon looking for the damage on Artemis. However, Artemis is just going to destroy him in return. The Titan, 34%, 29, 20, 14, 12, 2, GG to blue team. 33 minutes, 37 to 16, and up about 9k gold. And Osiris throwing out some taunts, very unsportsmanlike. However, that was the game. As you can see, red team, they fell behind. They had some good comebacks, but in the end, they just didn't have enough. They had some good grouping, but they didn't quite catch what they needed. Looking at the player damage here. Over Neath, 10,000 compared to Artemis's 22,000. That is a pitiful number here. And her gold gain, 426 per minute, while the Artemis was at 473. Just showing Artemis out-farmed and was way more around for the kills, for the damage, to help her team out than the Neath was. Looking at the solo, the Bakasura putting up 16,000 versus Osiris's 21,000. Now, Bakasura has an ability that gives him true damage. The problem with this is that, or not the problem, but the problem with his damage numbers compared to Osiris is that that true damage should be giving him way more than he got there. Now, Poseidon, 6k behind Nuwa here. That is astounding. Nuwa at a very impressive 8-0. One of the first level 20s in the game, I'd like to say. I think she was right behind Artemis. And she did so much, and obviously the structure damage coming out. Most from Osiris, but the Nuwa second highest on her team. Whereas Loki was the only one on red team who even had structure damage at a very impressive 4k, but he did take 2 towers and a Phoenix. Now, looking over at the supports, just look, the player damage, that doesn't matter that much. However, Ymir, while he was able to take more damage, the Sobek mitigated a lot more, just about 3,000 more, but the wards placed on each team, the Sobek failingly did less than the Ymir, but however, Nuwa, Bastet 13, that's 26 wards just from them. And that's more than red team combined, I would think. It looks like there's 8, 11, 12, there's 27. Nuwa and Bastet alone have almost as much as red team combined. From the beginning, this game was in blue team favor. Red team fought very valiantly, came back a couple times. However, their downside, they have a 4-9, 16,000 player damage Bakasura. They have a 4-7, 10,000 player damage Poseidon. And I'd like to remind you, this was 33 minutes. Loki. Loki is probably the main reason they fell behind so early. Let's look at him. 2 and 8, 7k player damage. Switch over blue team. Look, Bastet. I know Bastet, she's tiers above Loki for jungle, but 12-7 with 13k. Almost effectively doubling the player damage from Loki. And 6 times his kills, and still 1 less death. This Loki, not sure how strong he was in jungle. I would recommend him practicing it a lot more. This was definitely not his strong suit, not his strongest game. Overall, it was just a very good, clean sweep for the blue team here. So with that note, I'm going to be going ahead and piecing out. Hopefully, you might like to see more of these castings. Talk to you guys later.